Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for joining us on another wonderful episode of the Logistics Lounge. Tonight in the his house, we have the strongman of logistics, Mr. Robert Bain, going to hang out and chill with us. We're going to talk about, well, we always talk about whatever the hell we want. So y'all stick around. Let's have some trucking, transportation, logistics talk, pop a top, and let's just chill.
I'm telling you, dude, one of these days when we get bigger, I'm gonna hire a band to play that live time anywhere we
We
go.
need we need to, don't we? That would be fucking sick, bro. That would be
Yeah.
so awesome, man.
Yeah.
How's your day, bro?
It's been good. It's been good. I've enjoyed these last 2 days of just absolutely beautiful weather and then wake up today and it is classic Nashville again. About 50 degrees, cloudy, rainy. But
Is it raining up
got,
there?
it says it's going to. It's said it's been going to all day, but yeah, just another beautiful day here in Nashville, but, day's been good. Freight's getting booked. Um, trucks are trucks are doing what trucks need to do, and, still had my cell phone service today. So,
Dude. Oh my God, bro.
don't
Don't
dig
even
into it yet.
bro, man, that stuff right there was absolutely nutso, dude.
Those
We're
bananas.
gonna wait to bring them on before we get into all that.
Play a harmonica. Jason, I have a harmonica around here somewhere. I'll get on it one of the next shows. I'll rip a mean solo.
Do you know how to play harmonica, bro?
No.
Oh, fuck. He said, I'll give her the old college try though. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see the show linked, but link isn't getting me on, just taking me to
I don't
StreamYard.
know what's going on. I sent him the link, like, twice. Jeff got the link.
User error is all I'm going to say. Stephen Dot. That is my new name for him, bro. Stephen Dot.
Yeah, we'll get it
Stephen
figured
Dot.
out. Well, how was your day, man? How's your day going?
It was good, man. I mean, yeah, started off with that whole phone stuff. We'll get to that when everybody else comes on. That
I
was
saw you,
fun.
got this new fancy car.
Yeah, I did, man.
That thing
Dude.
is hot rodding, dude.
That is, man. You like that? You like that, dude? It's. I'm only the second owner, man. It's got low miles,
Yeah. I mean,
very low
dude,
miles,
that's a lady magnet. Cat
bro.
better watch out.
Hey, out the door, 10.5, baby, 10.5,
There you
and they
go.
even just put that nice sweet paint job on it for me.
Yeah, it's sweet, man. It's sweet.
Fuck yeah, I
Patina.
love it, bro. Yeah, I did. I did give me a car today, man. Nothing special. It's not, man. I mean, I got a Mazda 6, dude, an old Mazda 6. I like old cars with low miles and little technology. That's what I
Yeah, what
like.
you showed me is nice, man. It's
Yeah,
nice.
dude.
Cybertruck cars are just they're undervalued, underrated.
And they are, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just people. I guess you could think I'm cheap, but it's not that. I don't need all that, lane assist and all that stuff. I think stuff like that makes people more dumb, more stupid drivers. Personally, you know what I mean. So, yeah, but yeah, it's a cool car, man. It's like 8-year-old. It's got like 40,000 miles on it. It was a fleet car. Fucking, decked out, nice sound system, AC works, windows work, lights work. Like, I don't need nothing else, man. I'm simple, bro. So I have other things I want to spend my money on. So
For
yeah,
sure.
that was fun, absolutely fun. And then I got home and my logistics world just came absolutely crashing down. But such is life. What would be a
Such
day
is
in this industry
logistics.
if there wasn't a problem?
Yeah.
But
But well, I guess we'll go ahead and get this show on the road.
we
Everybody, thanks
are
for tuning in to another wonderful segment here in the Logistics Lounge.
got to do
And
sponsor
without
before
further
you do that.
ado, the
No,
strongest man in
no, no, no.
logistics.
Got to do
Well,
sponsor.
my bad, my bad. Get on that, get
Wait,
on that
don't yet.
sponsor break.
Don't yet. Before we get the show on the road, we got to give some love to Shoreline Capital. Like the man Ryan Van Brocklin says, it's a sure thing with Shoreline.
I said that.
I love how you did that. Was it you that said it? I thought Ryan said that first.
Dude, yes. Why would Ryan say anything that makes sense?
That is a very good point. That is a strong point there, sir. I
Yeah,
agree with you. All right,
yeah.
Hunter.
Without further ado, Mr. Robert Bain. I don't, dude. The explosion just looked cool to me, so I had to put it in the video.
I like that. I like that shit, dude.
I've got a guest with me too. I've got the strongest woman in logistics.
There we go. There we go.
Hey!
What's going on?
Hey,
What's happening?
not much. I just literally got here.
Literally walked in my door.
There you go.
Well, welcome to the lounge, guys. Robert, thank you for being here, man. How's your day been?
Dude, thanks for having me, man. It's been a good day. Working on some projects. We're doing some really cool tech stuff with some of our clients. So I was working on that all day. Had lunch with an old friend, which was really fun. Got Meg here in my studio. We're gonna be recording a podcast called the Backspot Podcast here after this, and just been loving life, man. Enjoying my new little grandbaby and walking my dog every day because I work at home and it's a beautiful day in Chicago. So it's a good life.
Right on, man. Your dog's a killer, by the way, dude. That picture of y'all with matching outfits walking down the street.
Oh, me and Ginge, yeah. We stay G'd up from the feet up, man.
Man, bro, you're old enough to have a grandbaby?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but like not
You don't
really.
look like you're old enough to have a grand. Hey,
I mean, I'm 41, so like you do the math. Like my wife and I had kids early. My daughter's
so did
young
I.
too. Yeah. So, but it's cool, man. Violet's beautiful. She's an incredible
awesome.
little kid, and I've been very pleasantly surprised and
And it's a
impressed with
girl.
how. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
But again, I've been very pleasantly surprised and impressed with how my daughter Lily and her boyfriend Alex has kind of stepped up over the last few weeks. So it's been good, so I don't have to kill a kid and put him in my backyard. So that's nice.
That's awesome. I had kids. I had kids in high school, man. I'm 39. I got a 22-year-old. So like I feel you.
So there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's awesome, man. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I just came on the show to back up my friend.
So
Hi, Jeff.
D9.
Thanks, guys. I love you too. Great. Great.
How's your
Perfect.
day,
Yeah, I
buddy?
love you, bro.
Perfect, man. I just came on the show to back up my friend, Mr. Bain, the strongest man in logistics. Great guy. Will give the shirt off his back, but you don't want to see his back because he's a hairy mother. Nice guy.
Hey, first of all, the back is not hairy right now. And if you want to, you can watch a movie on this thing. Thank you very much.
No, that's okay. I'll pass.
this is a fake. As I say, we're trying to gain followers, not lose them.
You'll get different followers. It's a very different demographic than watching.
Oh man. All right, Hunter, take it, man. Take it, bro.
Yeah. Well, Robert, you're in here, man. Thank you again for being here, and strongest woman in logistics as well. So I guess to get it started, who are you, man? Where'd you get your start? How'd you end up here? Give us a little background on yourself.
Yeah, we'll get the long version because it's always fun. So born and raised on the East Coast, right outside of DC. Grew up there. I moved to Eastern Iowa when I was 13. Lived there for about 15 years. Played soccer, believe it or not. No one ever believes that till they see old pictures of me. But played in high school, played in college, played a little bit after that. Met my wife in Iowa. All four of our kids were all born there. I loved Eastern Iowa. It was a great place to raise a family, great place to live. But as I got into logistics, which I had my first gig in logistics, I'll tell that story actually in a second. It's pretty funny how I fell in. I realized that my opportunities were capped. If you're in Iowa, you work at basically CRST, Rouen, Heartland, or Westside. That's about it. And they're all kind of incestuous. They all kind of trade people. So I wanted to go somewhere where my career could grow. And so we decided to move to Chicago. Been here about 13 years now. And it's been the best thing we could have ever done. It's been an awesome place too. Hey, Stephen Dott.
Hey,
It's been a great place to raise our family.
Little Tittle Cowboy.
So
That's Little Tittle Cowboy.
That's the big cowboy over there.
So yeah, so that's kind of the quickie. But how I fell in this industry, I I actually owned a business with my dad. We sold baseball cards and memorabilia. That was kind of what we did for fun. It was awesome. We had a store. It was a great time. I worked in the restaurant industry for a long time. Opened up restaurants and both concepts and then new stores. More familiar ones like Buffalo Wild Wings, Red Robins, those types of things. What I hated though was coming home smelling like a French fry and never having weekends or holidays to myself. So I went looking for an office job, and as soccer tended to do at that point in my life, it intervened. And a guy that I used to play against in high school, who we hated each other, like with a burning passion, was the interviewer at this company that I went to. And as his custom, he went through the interview process. He had no intention of hiring me. He didn't tell me that. But he toured me around the office. And while he was touring me around, this brokerage moved cars. That's all they did. They brokered moves for vehicles, both personal and then commercial. And this woman had a guy on a speakerphone. He was talking about moving an SLR McLaren Mercedes. So if anybody remembers these, these are high value vehicles. Just the sticker price on these was $750K. They were on the secondary market for $2-3 million. Well, as I'm walking by, I see on the screen there's a picture of an AM 63. Beautiful vehicle, great way to drop 180 grand, but it's not an SLR. And as they're talking through all the requirements, they mentioned the insurance, like, oh, we should only need 100,000. I said, no, you're going to need a lot more than that, which sure, probably on me for interrupting a phone call with a client, but given the delta on how much they needed, I thought it was important. So I was dismissed quickly that I didn't know what I was talking about. A couple weeks later, I get the job offer. I come back and start my first day, and I immediately go to her desk to find out what happened. Well, turns out I was right. They got to carry the $150K in cargo insurance. The upper hydraulic failed, smashed down on top of the McLaren, and $175,000 damage claim ensued. Now, if you are the intermediary and you arrange transportation and that carrier's insurance doesn't cover the damage, who's on the hook for that? Anybody? So if they had listened for about 14 seconds, they would have saved themselves about 25 grand. And the president of the organization said, well, this kid figured it out in 4 seconds, then bring him on. Let's see what happens. And that's how I fell in logistics.
Right on.
Cool.
That's a great story, though, dude. Like, for real. Like, anytime you can get involved with something and cars are involved, it's a good story, bro. I
always loved exotics. And so it was very serendipitous that, like, I would read the DuPont registry because I was a broke college student. I just thought it was cool to dream about driving one of those. And a few years later, I would know this just off the cuff.
Yeah, man. You had me at SLR McLaren.
That's what I gotta hear.
Hey, if you know, you know. If you know, you know, baby.
Oh, I do know. I do very much know. I'm a big McLaren fan. Matter of fact, my brother's in Qatar, and he just sent me a hat from the McLaren Cafe in, I don't know, someplace over there. So, I love McLaren's, dude. That's
so I cannot say how because of a couple contracts that I have, but I actually have had lunch with one of the owners of the McLaren F1 team.
Well, sweet, dude. Hell
and actually, it's an annual thing that I have lunch with him every 9/11 weekend when I'm in New York.
Awesome. You know what's really neat about the McLarens is you can shut your eyes and you can listen to that motor and you know exactly what the hell's coming down that road.
Oh yeah.
It's so distinctive.
Oh, yeah.
It's so distinctive. It's unlike any other sound that you've ever heard.
Yep.
It's like a Bugatti. You know, they have two. It's a total different thing. It's it's fast.
Oh yeah. There's I know power, and trust me, there's power there.
Yeah, one of the cars that I had the opportunity to drive when I was working for Jaguar was an Aston Martin DB7. That was cool. That was way back in 2000.
Yeah.
I got to poke back at Ryan Van Brocklin with that. We all have McLarens. No, we've all got G-Wagons. Come on, guys.
I know.
That's right.
Ryan's a little slow. You gotta give him some slack. He's trying to catch up with everything.
Except for our homie dad of two towing, he's got a rotator on spinners. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Hunter, show everybody what Pedro just bought.
He already did.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really nice, man. It's got
Beautiful.
Hey,
Here,
I'm
I'll bring
gonna
it
throw a
on,
sound.
get this on.
Hey, that's going to be one of those cars where my sound system and my rims are worth more than the car.
Bing bong. The mean machine.
That's it, baby. Look at that bullet.
I feel like whenever you pull up somewhere, you have to just look at everyone and go, "Great success."
Where's the sidecar?
That is the sidecar. The sidecar car.
Oh,
That's
is it
what I'm
really?
saying.
One of one, man.
That looks like some shit from Mr. Bean.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? That looks like some
wrong.
shit from Mr.
Not
Bean,
wrong.
man. Hey, so Robert, how long did you do? Were you in the car thing, man?
So that only lasted about a year. The company got absorbed by CRST, and that's actually where I kind of started learning like more traditional freight over at CRST, and I was there for a few years. Again, that's when I made the call to move my family to Chicago. But it was cool, man. It was a fun deal. One of my clients, I can talk about them now because for the most part everybody's moved on, but was the Odessa auction house. So Odessa and Mannheim were the two big auction houses that dealt with repos, lease returns, that type of stuff, and then they would resell those to dealerships. And had an awesome couple of clients up in Seattle and actually down in Atlanta through that auction house, and really like I started to learn more about like freight lanes and kind of how trucking worked. I talked to my first trucker through that, which was, again, I look back on it now that I just responded to an ad in the classifieds. I'm dating myself a little bit, and it totally changed the whole trajectory of me and my family's life.
That's nuts, dude. That's the class. That's all nuts, but it's also nuts that you said the classifieds. To all of you kids out there, that was this thing that came in this thing. That was a section in this thing called a newspaper. They used to sell them for 50 cents out of little machines. You put quarters in your lip. No,
Listen, I'm not that young. I'll be 30. I'm coming up.
We're the same age.
No,
Yeah,
you
we used to have
don't.
newspapers, get some silly putty and get the comic strips on them. Yeah, dude.
Those were the original memes. Those were the original memes, man. That's how we
You're right.
Yes. Yes.
Our
making
newspaper
discoveries over
here,
here.
they have their own like newspaper machine graveyard in the back of their facility, dude. Like it's all walled off, but you can see these machines. They're stacked like 100 feet long, dude, and like 10 feet high. It's like,
Okay,
what
so
are you
this is
doing?
one of those like I wanna shoot myself moments. So my parents still have all of my newspaper clippings from high school and college,
Freaking boom.
and they've got it all like on nice little pieces of paper and in nice little sleeves in a book. And my kids see this and they're like, "Where'd you find these things? Like, what does this come from?" And I'm like, "I'm just gonna go hang myself now. Like, this is horrible. Done a great disservice to my children."
Back in my day.
Yes, back in my day, we had the box scores, and there it is right there. There's Bain 2G 1A, and that's how you saw what the stat line was for everybody in a soccer game.
Freaking Lord, I'm telling you what. All right, moving along. So what took you place after that, Rob? Because I mean, like, I'm looking at your LinkedIn, dude, and you were like you're like an encyclopedia of experience.
Yeah, so if I run down the experience, man. So leaving CRST, I came to Chicago and I helped start a couple of brokerages, one of which actually got acquired by Blue Grace Logistics years later. I got recruited to actually run a private carrier up in Waukegan, Illinois. We did that for about 5.5 years, and I basically sat in every seat you can imagine on the operations side, and actually on the sales side too. As a GM there, I grew that from about a 6-truck operation to 50 trucks, 75 drivers, about 200 trailers, nice little regional operation around the Great Lakes. And then another big turning point for me, I was part of the first group of industry hires at Uber Freight, and which was unbelievable. Shit. Yeah. So I basically got there right as they were coming out of stealth mode, and me and the customer facing group there basically ran into $1 billion in revenue by 2019, which was just truly an unbelievable experience. $1 shorts. Oh boy. Moved on from there.
I'll explain it later.
Yeah,
I'll explain that later.
Well, like
Get out of here.
We'll get that. And I've basically been consulting since then, whether in long-term contracts or traditional consulting with a group, which is what I do now. I work for a company called GLCS. We are a tech-focused consultancy, so we do a lot of stuff with integrations, with technology development. Most of our business has been around the asset side. I'll start line up. Yeah, I don't know about all that. we work with about 250 or 300 fleets on a monthly basis. We're Samsara's largest integrator. We do a lot of ELD to TMS integrations. We've done a good amount of work on the 3PL and intermediary side, but that's something we really wanted to build out as 2024 progresses. And that's one of the reasons why I came on board. I've known our CEO, Nate, for a couple years now. And I will tell you what, if you guys ever get a chance to get Nate Johnson on this show, no other guests, just Nate. He is one of the best minds you will ever find around technology, operations. He's done everything. He has been a driver. He's grown a fleet from 40 to 1,000 trucks. He's run brokerages. He's done installations. He can get all the way as high level as here's your business to the ones and zeros of your technology. He is one of the best minds in all of logistics and transportation.
Well, when we get off the show, we'll wait on that group message between you, myself, Hunter, and Nate.
I'm already typing it up. I'm just telling him right now. Robert said you got to come on the show.
Yeah, that's yeah. Put Robert in it. Put him in it. Put his ass on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you
absolutely.
go.
I'll do it. But yeah, Nate's one that you and Jeff. I know you got a chance to meet Nate. I don't know if Steven you got a chance to meet Nate Johnson yet, but he's
good dude. Really good dude.
But also the most down to earth guy you've ever met. So you have this person with this incredible mind, but incredibly willing and able to meet you at your needs. He's awesome.
Extremely humble, I should say. Very humble.
Yep.
So, one thing that did interest me, man, that I would like you to explain is how did you transition into the tech side of this stuff? You know, I mean, because you started out, with the car things, and I'm looking here, man, and you like progressively got more on like the technology kind of side of things, brother. I mean, were you a tech degree guy, always a techie, or was that just one of those things? Did you enter another ad in the classifieds? The thrifty nickel. I don't know if y'all had the
yeah. So a couple things. I was not necessarily a tech guy, but I watched technology progress over my entire life. My dad worked for a telecom company. If anybody's familiar with the old telecoms, MCI, then MCI WorldCom, they eventually bought by Verizon. Dad worked for them. Dad worked on some of the original networks, the original 1G networks that became our cell phone network.
Wow.
And so Bruce is another one. He's a smart dude. He's enjoying retirement now. But I also watched my dad, though. He hit a point where he did not continue to progress and evolve. And I love my father. He's amazing. But to the point where he eventually got squeezed out of his industry, an industry he was in for 25, almost 30 years. And it set him, my mom back a little bit. And it was an eye-opening thing for me to watch my parents struggle for a little while my dad rebuilt another business where he became an Aflac salesman and, incredible businessman. He was very, very smart, but he didn't evolve. And that was a cue to me that I'm going to have to do that or I'm going to end up just like my dad. And that was just something I didn't want to do. Even though I love my father, he's a great dad. There are a lot of aspects about him that I didn't want to be. And one of them was that I didn't want to have to not evolve. I took my health journey very seriously because my dad didn't for a long time until he saw me do it. So I wanted to make sure that my family didn't have to experience that firsthand. We learned the lesson, if that makes sense. So that's why I started focusing on tech and started trying to understand more, even though my degrees are in elementary ed and psychology. So I was not a tech guy by any stretch. But I decided to learn it. I'm not the dumbest guy out there. I'm pretty close. I am a big dumb animal. Ask Meg. But I figured I could learn a couple things here and there if I just kind of put my head down and figure it out.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot, like just in the show or even in some of these spaces over on X. It's like, think about when the internet first came out. Like people were like, "Oh, this is never gonna last." Well, look where we're at now. That's the same thing with this AI, all these, new softwares and stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be a fool not to be interested in tech. Like it's not like autonomous trucks are gonna come out tomorrow and the industry's going all to hell. But it's like,
no,
because if that does happen, 10, 20 years from now, well, you know what? You put yourself in a position where you can adjust and adapt and put yourself in that realm. It's not like the industry's just gonna wait.
And I think it's important too to take time to, whether you're going to become an expert on those things or not, you at least know where to find that information, and you can connect with the experts that are on it. Like, I'll be honest, like I am not an expert on any of this stuff. I know a little about a lot of shit, and so I don't know if I can swear or not, but I'm going to do it anyway.
He doesn't like that.
Yeah, it'll be that way. So I I make sure that I know at least enough so I can go find the information. So like autonomous vehicles, what I know about them is that we'll get them at some point. We're never going to see level 5 with no driver in the cab in our lifetime because we're not ready as a society, legislative wise, to deal with that. Because when that truck rolls over and kills somebody, who's going to jail? That's about the extent of where I'm going to go with it, and then I'll find experts on that. Same thing with AI. I know that this machine's going to take over. Skynet's coming. That's fine. I'll just make sure to embrace our robot overlords, and we'll be good.
Exactly. Supreme Leader Elon. I
Just
mean,
don't
it
hug
seems
him.
like
Just
a
don't
good
hug
guy
him.
to get behind. What'd you say, Jeff?
He said, just don't hug them. Don't hug them.
They're very sharp.
Half.
Yeah. Yes, the robots are very sharp.
No, the biggest thing though, I mean, you probably read so many companies are pulling out of the EVs now. They're squashing it, and also the autonomous vehicles as well. Big one, I forgot the name of it, just pulled out of that as also because listen, what about the hacking aspect of it? I mean, would you want to drive down the road without a driverless 80,000-pound vehicle next to you and the freaking thing gets hacked? Don't say that it's never going to happen. I mean, these guys are smart. We're talking about tech right now, and these guys are always one step ahead of us trying to figure it out. All they have to do is get control of 2 or 3 of them on a major highway, man. You know what the damage is going to be? I mean, I don't know.
80,000-pound missiles running down the road.
I mean, but don't you think that could have happened with Teslas by now?
They have.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
people
look
have hacked
how they
Teslas?
burn. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's unbelievable.
This is so. If you saw the stuff about the Teslas like stopping randomly on the highway, it's because people figured out how to hack them and they just hit the brakes on the
I've
autopilot.
not seen anything on that.
Yeah.
Because they won't talk about the hacking. They'll just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a malfunction. Just bring it in the dealership."
Wow.
Listen, one thing that I think would be plausible would be using the autonomous vehicles as yard horses in a big DC that moves trailers in and out, period, end of discussion, where they can now take that labor and put it into other places in the operation, combined with robotics, because remember, robots don't have a heart or soul. And you have to have that. I really
just like me.
Have to have right. You really have to have that. You have to have that heart and soul in order to breathe the industry. Robots only have a certain amount of capabilities, but when they, machine learning, they're talking to each other and they're building on what they're learning. And a lot of people say they're going to take over the world. Is that going to happen? I'll be dead by that time, but it's going to happen. I agree with Rob. It will happen eventually.
I want to my thing on the AVs is and I'm sure we'll roll into this here in a minute because Robert is supposed to do our news for us. Fuck, we forgot to do.
Oh, yeah, we gotta do that. Don't we?
Oh, we'll get into it.
He'll do it in a minute. He'll do it. We'll get. But my thing with the AVs is just like with the whole thing that happened today with the cell phone stuff, man. Where is the fail safe? Where is the backup? Like, I think today was fucking proof that, like, where are our fail safes at? Like, we are so fucking dependent on technology. There's going to come a time where it's going to not be here, whether it be for a day or a week or maybe permanently. You know what I mean? Like, and we have no fail safe. And like you said, that truck going down the road, man, if something happens, there's no fail safe as for these things right now with the drivers. They say there is, but I will agree with Jeff. I actually posted an article. I think it was from maybe CDL Life or Freightwave from someone, but it was exactly about that, about them using autonomous vehicles as yard jockeys, and that I'm cool with, man. And like I said in my post, you can still make the argument that it takes people's jobs, but I'll say one of my very first jobs after I got out of college with my logistics degree was I was a transportation supervisor for a 40-yard dog team. And let me tell you, dude, the turnover rate on that shit is so high because dude, like,
the workers' comp on that stuff is insane.
Yes, dude, it was not because there's so many. Even as good as those yard dogs are, bro, you wouldn't be amazed. There's a shit ton of incidents and accidents when it comes to those yard guys, bro, because it's not just them, it's other trucks hitting them or you do. So it's nuts. So I think that's a good place to start, man. And if we really want to hone that technology, I mean, what a better place than a huge DC yard where we all know drivers don't pay attention to the lanes or the speed limits and you know what I mean? So I agree with that, Jeff. I think that's
and you know something as well. I mean, I'm going back in the day, I'll age myself, but when the yard horses were out there, it was a manual job. Guys had to get out of their cab, walk around the side, hook up their fifth wheel, put the airlocks, all that on there, and then go. Right now they have it's all automatic. They can do it by just looking, be able to push a button, fifth wheel comes down, hooks in, they're out of there, you know. And then there's also debris that was all over the yard, right? Nails and all this other kind of stuff. We used to tie these big ass freaking magnets on the front of them and just drive all over the place just to pick up those nails. And I mean, you talk about blowout tires, man, that used to happen all the freaking time, you know? So, I mean, there are advancements in that area. And I think that's one of the best areas to implement, you know, autonomous yard horses in that area. And the other thing too, with the EVs, I mean, look at the infrastructure, and we'll use California as an example. They want to do it. They want to change it by 2035. They can't even run their fucking air conditioners right now. You think that's going to happen? That ain't happening, guys. There's no way that they're going to be able to build that infrastructure and make that happen by 2035. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think so.
No. So my one argument, here's my one argument for EVs. If you're for EVs, you're for slavery and trafficking, and that includes children. And if you don't believe me, go on Google and type in some stuff and go look, because where all these things are mined are third world countries where people are literally working for pennies if they're getting paid at all, including children. And that to me, I could go on about EVs. I am so anti-EV. It's not funny. I think that I call EVs, they're a feel-good product. That's what they are. I don't give a shit how it's manufactured, what damage it does before or after I own it, as long as I feel good about myself while I own that vehicle. That's all I care about. So yeah, I'll stop there in EVs. I could go all night long.
If we're talking that though, man, about anything that's coming over from China is being made by the same cats. Like your shoes, your hats.
Who's doing the pre-trip on these vehicles? Yeah, when it's autonomous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The robot that's driving the truck.
Dude, we got to have Steve on the show. Steve comes up with some, man, he has some freaking banger questions and some banger comments, man. Rob, can we?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because you mentioned specifically the cell phones going down. One, didn't affect me. Hooray. But this is an important piece that I actually put something out on LinkedIn about this a couple weeks ago. As technology evolves, technology creates efficiencies which can potentially repurpose individuals and their roles. When you start to get into AI and machine learning, these tasks that were deemed like they could never be automated, they become automated. But when everything goes down, there needs to be a knowledge base of how to do those things manually and what was actually automated. So there is great value in the knowledge these people have when their jobs are being eliminated, where actually they become the troubleshooters and they actually become more valuable to their organizations. And so I really want to reframe when people are thinking about this. Okay, I understand that this may be something that could impact me. How can I still remain valuable and show, either my employers or even a whole new business venture where I am the one that comes in and fixes this stuff when you guys break it?
No, just want to throw that out there. That's an awesome point, Rob. And it all evolved from being in the corporate business and seeing those automated mail machines that used to go by your office and they would drop everything off. Then they started putting the guides in the warehouse, narrow order pickers that would go right down, that would go up there. All you have to do is program them, tell them LF 42, whatever, go down there. You had the tilt slots in there and everything, and you'll be able to pull it out. The thing is what happens? I mean, those guided vehicles have been around for 30 something years, 35, 40 years. And the thing is that, right, what's going to happen when those things go down? What's the fail safe? Like Pedro was saying, where they're going to be able to go out there and how much money is that going to cost? You know, I mean, when you lose those brain cells of how to do an operation and you fully rely on automation, something's going to go horribly wrong, man. Really bad, fast.
I'm waiting to see, because I know someone's going to put it out. I'm waiting to see an economic report on the short time of frame this went down. Because guys, I mean, I'll tell you, like, one of the things I love about my part of the industry is working for who I work for. I can do almost anything from my phone. And what I can't do from my phone, I have access to my team via app and email, and they can do it. And I'll tell you, man, like, I didn't have any of that today, none of that. And for a little bit, it felt good not having my phone go off all the time. But I'll tell you, I got anxious as shit, because I'm like, I know that there are things going on right now that I need to know about, and I could possibly be losing money. Coincidentally, when I got to the car dealership and I hooked up to their Wi-Fi, dude, the car guy, like, he was laughing so hard, my phone just and I had 3 emails, man, of customers that wanted me to do loads for them, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit. One of them was on the East Coast. You know, it was 10 o'clock. He's like, dude, they close at 2. And anyway, so I'm waiting on someone to come out with the economic report, because not just us, man. Think about all the bankers and the realtors and the stock traders and the agriculture brokers. Think about all the people that use their phone and the internet on their phone to do fucking business on a daily basis. So I can't wait to see what that little 5 or 6 hour time span did to slow GDP down for the day.
Well, I was thinking about the same thing, but on a different level. I wonder how many people are still down in their bunkers.
Dude, yeah.
I knew it was happening.
Is it safe?
Nah, they're gonna be down there for a few days, man. They've been waiting on it.
Dude, I can say,
honest.
since cell phones have been a thing, like, this is the first time I ever remember the network going down, like, on this level. Like, you know, maybe a little here and there, but nation freaking wide, and in on one of the biggest cell providers on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, AT&T owns people overseas and stuff too.
Really, it was just AT&T wanting to let the general public know what it's like when DAT goes down.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Man,
hey,
shit.
let's I think we want to do some headlines,
you,
right?
Hunter.
We want to talk some news.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Let's some
All right,
news.
hold on. Before we do the news, we have to roll the news video. Today, with our very special guest, we're just throwing the whole script out the fucking window. So our news today is going to be done by Mr. Bain here. And here, you can take it in 8 seconds, Robert.
I don't know what I'll do with the other 6 seconds, but here we go. So Flexport has relaunched the Convoy platform, which is actually, it's interesting. You know, for those who don't know, Convoy, digital freight brokerage, went out of business, and they sold their technology to Flexport. Flexport has been making a push into domestic freight. And while I don't believe there's going to be a true winner in the digital freight matching, it's going to be super interesting to watch, because that platform was very, very user-friendly. It was very heavily trafficked. And so it'll be interesting to watch kind of what happens with that platform through Flexport. Also, I think this is probably bigger news, that JB Hunt has acquired Walmart's intermodal fleet in exchange for guaranteed capacity and volumes between both sides. And this is obviously a strategic partnership that's going on for a long time, based on proximity. You know, one of the largest retailers on the planet, one of the largest transportation providers in North America. So very interesting to watch this and see how this impacts both intermodal capacity. Some folks don't think it'll impact it at all, because it's already kind of there. And this is in line with JB Hunt's decision to increase their intermodal fleet by to 150,000 units. So interesting to see that today, both those headlines today.
Yeah, you know, what's unique about that is, look, JB Hunt is right in their backyard. They're located, their headquarters in Lowell, Arkansas, and Walmart headquarters is in Bentonville, right outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas. They can just freaking get on their bike and go down there and have a great conversation and dinner for hours on end. You know, I mean, they've been involved with Walmart for so many years, man.
Oh yeah, I mean they've both grown together, and they've done it is a good partnership overall. It's but again, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I like how they bought those containers, and they're going to put the Walmart logo on the side of it. And I think it's 3 years, right, Rob?
3 years is this initial contract, yeah. But ultimately, when you purchase that equipment, there's we'll say there's a player option for 4 and 5. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, but they got
I
a
think this
majority.
is just a big ploy by Walmart to ultimately take over JB Hunt.
I don't think
Walmart's
so.
known for coming in, like, hey, if you don't put your stuff on our shelves, we're gonna put you out of business.
Yeah, so I think where this comes in, where this could be interesting is I don't know what Hunt's freight mix with Amazon is. I believe they divested a lot of that. So if there was more that Hunt was doing for Amazon, I would say, yeah, this is a play against that. They've been deep in bed with Walmart for a long time, so I don't believe it's going to be that route. Hunt as a standalone unit has been so healthy financially. I don't see them trying to completely merge with Walmart. I mean, it would be a massive fleet. It'd be 32,000 trucks, and not including containers. Close to 50,000, 60,000 trailers between those two fleets. But again, I don't think that they're going to have the same management style, and I don't believe that Walmart will be able to maintain the promises they've had with their drivers of the 6-figure salaries if they did that.
Agreed.
In my humble yet accurate opinion.
No, I think you're right on point, man. Right on point. And isn't it, there's been people talking about this, and we've touched on it as well, about these larger companies like this, are going to start doing business on a much larger scale together, and the contracts and the terms are going to become much more exclusive. I feel that, man, with all the shit that's happened since from COVID till now, man, like all the people going out of business, all the new people coming into the business, all the new technology, so forth, so on, blase. I really think that that the bigger ones are seeing, man, like we've got to pull together a little more and diversify ourselves. And I guess you could say, in a way, start making logistics conglomerates. You know what I mean? Like, these people have already got a foothold on the industry, folks like, Knight and, Knight Swift and CR and, all these people. And then they're just trying to get a larger piece of it, man, to solidify themselves in the industry, so they're not the next one that goes bankrupt. And also, I think it's what Robert said, is they're trying to not diversify, Robert. What was the word you said? Like expand themselves, give yourself more value, evolve. You know what I mean? Yep. Evolve and put themselves in different spaces in case their main gig goes down. They're like, hey, we're already involved in these other things. We have a backup plan and expand our business. So,
well,
this is the age of consolidation. Like, this is happening.
Yeah.
And whether that is mergers and acquisitions, or to your point, people teaming up, because if there's, for instance, if Megan and I have different specialties, with whether it's lifting or whether it's work, what have you, it makes sense for us to partner on that, because we're going to double our reach. And it says a lot when you have a trusted partner and say, hey, like, I can't handle this, but my friend Meg can, because she has the expertise. She has the network that's going to handle this, and she's going to treat you just like I would. And so I think you're going to see a lot more of those partnerships too, which I think eventually also will turn into either mergers and acquisitions, because it is easier to fight together than to fight amongst ourselves for the same crumbs.
Absolutely. It's all about strategic partnerships. That's my model. Exactly what I cannot do. I have somebody that's expert in that field, because I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything.
And Jeff, we've talked about this a ton of times.
Yeah. And the thing is that if you lack in a specific area, it's on your desk. Keep it on your desk, but find a strategic partner that can help you out to keep that moving. It's just like the relationship between JB Hunt and Walmart. Volume is leverage. Leverage is discount. It's just like Amazon, Walmart, and their pricing.
And capacity is leverage.
And the capacity. And the whole thing is when you look at all the Walmart facilities out there, look at the repositioning of assets. That's so easy for them to do, because it's a giant spider web where they're able to keep those assets moving, loaded or unloaded, to put in specific positions in order to keep that flow of goods moving. And that's strategic to them. That's what keeps the prices down and keeps their assets moving. I mean, it's an easy formula. It's very hard to get to that, but you do it right and you put yourself in partnerships strategically, it will make it happen. It will happen.
The idea of collaboration is going to be bigger than the M&A stuff because you also see divestiture, people divesting their assets. So somebody like spinning off their final mile, or UPS spinning off LTL so they can concentrate again on parcel. You're going to see a lot of divestiture by larger companies. You're going to see some M&A, but I think the most of it's going to be contractual collaboration between these larger organizations rather than the other two. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, but I think that's what we'll see over the next decade.
Yeah, the M&A, I believe this is going to be in that. If you're looking at like brokerage specifically, right? Those, I would say 5 million top line is like the low end, up to like 100 million. Those types of businesses coming together. You bring 2, 3, 4 of those together, all of a sudden you've got a $500 million operation. Certainly there is the post-merger integration and assimilation of the cultures. It's a lot that goes into that, but you have a lot to play with all of a sudden. You got a lot of weight behind you when you do that. So the big guys know, I don't believe you're going to see a lot of M&A, but I believe these smaller players are going to suddenly pop up and go, holy shit, now you've got a $350 million brokerage operation. There's some meat here.
That's just like the CP and the Kansas City Southern when they merged, right? Because now it's a nice link to get into Mexico. I mean, how convenient is that, right?
Something else.
Mexico.
What's that?
I was going to say something else that I haven't heard too many people talk about, but I've heard a little bit of chatter of it, is co-ops for like the smaller side of things, to try for the smaller people to gain a larger foothold. Say all of us here, this screen right here, it would be a perfect example. All of us, hey, we all have a foothold in the industry, but we don't have enough to like really do something, to take us to the next level. And so I've heard chatter, people bringing in other, groups of brokers, groups of small carriers, and doing like co-ops, and using each other and the knowledges that others have, and the experiences and the equipment, the assets, the people, all that stuff for everyone to grow. I mean, obviously, if you know what a co-op is, you know how a co-op works, but that's one thing that, I haven't seen too many people talk about. I don't know if it's because folks think it's a bad idea, if it's just something that's, kind of really still in its infancy, right now.
I've seen it in niche parts of the industry, like fuel hauling or agriculture. I've definitely seen it in some of those. In general freight, it would be interesting because this is an area that we fight in. Come back to the Chicagoland area, right? So like if you think about, I'm 15 minutes north of Elk Grove Village. There's 40,000 carriers of some shape or form down there, right? That's a different kind of co-op than you would necessarily see elsewhere. I think so. You have to have a density in those areas that is not too dense, but also there has to be a density of freight too.
Yes. It's just like me being a carrier, and now I'm going to strategically partner myself with Rob. He's going to bring in the technology. So I'm going to get it to the final destination, and then we're going to hand it off to Little Tittle, and he's going to do the final mile. So it's so seriously. And if we coordinated that and built a partnership, just think of the leverage and the volume that we're going to be able to increase to keep the flow of goods going. And now the discount that the shipper is going to receive from that partnership. So it benefits everybody involved.
It would be huge and bigly.
Huge.
I think all of us can agree, that we're at another point in this industry where major change is going on. Technology has been in our industry for a while, but I mean, there are a lot of new things coming in technology-wise, players, ideas. We're really at the cusp of taking things to the next step, in the evolution of logistics, and, using things like AIs and more expansive TMSs, the co-ops, the, M&As. And for everyone that doesn't know, like I know some people don't know, like certain terminology, mergers and acquisitions is what Robert keeps referring to. But, just all these things are happening right now, man. We're really, I think, I wouldn't even say at the forefront, right there at the clip of making some major change in the industry the next few years. And I do mean for the good, taking, like I said, even with this fraud stuff, this double brokering, just go back and look at COVID. Man, if anyone could run numbers, which we all know it's impossible, dude, just think about how rampant freaking double brokering and shit was during COVID. And now here in such a short amount of time, man, just think about this. What, 2 years maybe? All of these people have like, holy shit, this is a serious problem. And it took COVID for us to see it. And now we're like, dude, we've got to attack this. We've got to do something with this. And people are. And the next step with that, we've talked about on the show, is all of them integrating. Highway, Carrier 411, Trusted, eCarrier Check, everybody integrating and sharing data and helping take just that one part to the next level. So I think we got some cool things, man, coming up, and I think some shit's going to really get flipped on its head in the next few years, man. Definitely within less than a decade, definitely.
Yeah, and something that's a great point, Rob, and you hear me talking about the what if scenarios. What if back then, if we thought about what possibility would happen, what kind of position would we be in today? I always look at the what if scenarios. If you're in logistics for a long period of time, you can pretty much predict what the future is going to bring and how it's going to present itself. So how are you going to prepare yourself and put yourself in position A in order to align with the evolution of things to come? What are you doing now that's going to help you out? What are the what ifs? I mean, it's plausible. It could happen because it's logistics. Problems happen every single day. There's a challenge for each one of us out there. We just don't know we're going to get blindsided. And those are the important things that you should be looking at. That should be a priority every day you wake up and you get at your desk. What if this happens? What if that happens? How am I going to respond? Am I going to be more proactive or am I going to be more reactive? And if you're reactive, you lost the game. You've lost it. You got to be on top of your game constantly in this industry. And if you're not,
and you know what?
Something, you're going to lose out fast.
What should have crystallized that for the entire industry, Jeff, is from April 2020 till basically September of 21, the entire industry just reacted. That's all we did.
That's it.
And look at what happened. It was insanity.
Insane. That's why it's so important, Rob, that, if you're not doing that, you should. You really should. And you should have these brainstormings with your people there and always bring in the guys in the trenches. Even if you're at a higher level and you're the leader, don't leave them out, because those guys in the trenches every single day, and believe me, they know more than you do, except you don't allow them to come into your inner circle. Do that. You'll be very, very happy.
Boots on the ground. They're seeing it day by day. They're the ones fighting.
They have great ideas, wonderful ideas that will spread throughout the industry. It'll be
I've never seen ideas this big. They were huge. I walked in. I said,
"What great ideas!"
Very, very great ideas. We love them all. Love them.
Jesus.
Well, that train just got derailed.
That's what that's what happens when you put Walmart in charge of it.
It's a great value.
Walmart, great prices, very nasty rates, very terrible.
Mr. Dot, you specifically came on this show because you had some questions for Mr. Bain here. Do you want to go ahead and just shoot him off, man? Like dig into him, make him think hard, make that big head of his work.
The only thing we want to know is why he wasn't on school with us. That was the only thing. We're all on.
They get the invite.
What's up? Come on, Bain. Let's go.
I just didn't get an invite, man.
No, I invited you. I know I did. I was like, we need the strongest guy in here. We need the strongest man in statistics in our school. We need an enforcer. That's all I said.
I mean, I can certainly make the next
going
one.
like this. That means he's thinking.
Full transparency. During the day, if I get a chance, I spend as much time with my granddaughter as I can. So if I have a break and I've got all my stuff done up to that moment, I take a moment with Violet or give Lily a break. So, I'm going to use my granddaughter as the excuse, but no, I should have been there.
I got you. Not a big deal. We were just playing around with it. We did a little bit of everybody posted a little bit about the school today. It's very small and we're just starting, but we wanted to have a place where a lot of industry veterans who had experience could share those experiences and maybe even in a classroom environment. Because the one thing everybody says and sees across the internet, and everybody says this on their podcast, there's so much misinformation put out in social media about freight logistics. Why isn't there a place people can go and find the right information? And so we're trying to build that on the school platform, basically. It's going to be free for everybody to join. Different experienced people, like Jeff or myself or anybody else, will make it a specific class, and maybe we charge for that knowledge for somebody to be in. But the community itself is free, and it's there to try to help the younger people or anybody else who doesn't know something about logistics and not give them bad information. And I know there's a lot of podcasts that want to do that. I mean, Jeff tries to do that, set out good information, don't give anybody any bad information. But I'm trying to make a resource where people can just go in and we have a community, we talk about it. Even some people can correct other people. I mean, logistics isn't black and white, right? There's a lot of gray. I mean, I may have an experience in drayage on the West Coast that the process is totally different on the East Coast, or the type of equipment or the way they move things. So there's not this black and white, but people can share their experiences in logistics and say, this is what I did. This is how I did it. This is how I got to where I am. And if you find value in that, then you would pay for this classroom. I mean, if the classroom, like I'm writing one, I own crating facilities, right? A lot of people don't understand what ISBN 15 wood packing material is. People don't understand that 80% of international trade runs on WPM, whether that's a wood pallet or a wood crate or whatever it is. So it's a very important thing for people to understand what the ISBN 15 stamp stands for, why it came out, why we have it, how it works in international trade. And I'm writing an entire classroom on that. And if I write anything wrong, I expect another person who's in crating like myself, who understands that, say, hey, Steve, why don't you tweak this a little bit or say this a little bit? And the classroom builds up over time where it becomes more and more valuable to the people. So we're just in the starting stages. I mean, Hunter's been great. Robert's been great. Jeff, all of us are, Bill Robinson Bill was the first guy who kind of signed up for the school, and we're all trying to write content that we think is going to be beneficial. So that's all I came on today for, is to talk about that and say, I appreciate everybody's support. We're in the beginning stages. I think it could be something good that can help some people. And,
I got a question for you there, Papa Freight.
Yes.
What was it called? IMP something? What was it?
ISPM.
Yeah. Is that fumigated?
Is that what?
Fumigated. Are they still doing it?
See, that's what I'm going to explain. There's in ISPM 15 certification, you have heat treated and kiln dried type lumber, right? If you don't have that, then you can get a fumigation certificate to allow.
I just had to dig back.
Yeah, but normally, the process is financially better if you just use the lumber at the outset rather than trying to get it fumigated, basically.
Right, gotcha.
Also part of the standards to be able to ship something international with wood packing material. So,
gotcha. Thank you.
Look at that freight school happening right here, live on the Logistics Lounge. Robert, you do got to go. I mean, you got to go join it though, man. Like seriously, you ain't even got to post all the time, man. I've only done a few things, but it is pretty cool what Steven's got. Like I agree with him, man. He was actually watching the show earlier. Ed is the unicorn, is what I call him, because he's a shipper, carrier, and a broker. But his whole thing is, he's like, man, social media ruined our industry because of all the misinformation. Dude, he is so right. Like it ruined stuff, man, because nobody has no fucking idea what is actually factual. Because you just got it's. This is what we say. If it's got 500 likes, it must be true. You know what I mean? Like that's the way people see stuff now. Oh, it's got 40,000 views. It's got to be true, and it's like, no. So yeah, man, that freight school thing is really badass.
Well, it's like you said, the guy who came on and said, you guys need some bad news to get more attention. Who's that, Sage or?
Yeah, Sage.
The same thing. It's attention, right? You get out there, whether it's good or bad. If you get all the people there, that's what people are looking for on social media. And unfortunately, that's not the best position to be in if you really want answers or you really want to move forward with what you're doing and have the right information.
Hey, Steve, answer Dad of Two Roadside. Answer that question.
What was that?
Answer that
Look
question.
at the
Why
question
do
on the
international pallets have to be treated if some landing places fog the container?
I feel like that's a whole school course right there.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, they do that, but not all countries align with that or will do that, right? So it's the same thing in the WPM. It's not every country that's involved in the IPPC that said, yeah, you must have something stamped. I mean, I did a post, I don't know, a few weeks ago of some crates that we got in from China, and the palletized bottom was actually stacks of plywood that were all glued together. So the thing, these are 6,000-pound machines. They all fell apart, and the reason they do that is so they can get by not being certified. See, certification only applies to lumber, not to plywood, because plywood, it's in the process, they're just gluing everything together. They feel like the pests that could invade that have been killed through the gluing process, right? So plywood's not a part of that. So you got many countries that literally have factories making things that look like 2x4s that are just a bunch of plywood all glued together, right? And so they try to get away with that, and the standard's not very good. The quality of the crate's not good. I know a lot of people have seen stuff come in from overseas and they just don't, it's damaged. They don't understand even how it got there, right? Because during the transload at the port or the warehouse, they tore the thing apart trying to get it out of the container, right? So a lot of countries try to skirt the laws and do that. So like I said, there's different processes. You can either use the kiln dried and heat treated lumber. You can get it fumigated. And the first process is a much cheaper option. And that's why most people utilize that. So even though they forget, everybody does, so you can't really use that,
Yeah, something, Steve, what comes to mind? Bananas. And really huge freaking spiders, man, that come in those gaylords, man. They are nasty. You know what I'm talking about on that thing when they're doing the fog, and it's nasty. I'm telling you right now. You don't want to lift the cover off that gaylord. You want to always be like walking backwards when you're lifting that sucker, because man, it is nasty.
Well, not just insects, but I mean it gets pretty bad actually.
Yes.
Some of the stuff that you see crawl out of spaces in a container. I mean, people are jumping back all the time.
I know. So, that's why I brought that up when I was saying to fog it.
Let me ask you this, man. I heard you talk about the heat treated and the kiln and stuff like that. Like, when you say heat treated, and are you talking about like pressure treated, heat treated lumber?
Correct, yeah.
Hey, are you a big proponent of that? Because I am, man. I use treated lumber in any and everything I can because it is so resistant to fucking pests. Like, is that primarily what you like to use? Is pressure treated, heat treated lumber?
Yeah, that is all we use. So there's a lot of pallet makers and crate makers that utilize a different grade of wood than we do. Maybe it's not heat treated or kiln dried, has a little bark on it or something like that. They can get away with making pallets and crates much cheaper than I can because I'll only use like a number 2 standard lumber that's heat treated. Right? And that way I always qualify for my clients, and most of my clients are freight forwarders, right, who want to get something out of the country, overseas. And so when we build the crates, I only have that. And another thing too in the class I teach is that we actually pay a fee every month to be certified, for somebody to come in and look at our wood and actually fill out a form and say that we're keeping up with the standards, right? So I have multiple facilities. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hey, 13-year-old guy brain, 13-year-old kid.
We all thought it. We
did. Hunter, tag that one. Hunter, tag that line.
Let me take.
Steve, is that like the regulations where you have to do like ISO and have like a work instruction and a policy when they come in as investigators for certification that they have to look at that to show consistency at each one of your facilities?
That is correct. Actually, the regulation requires us, if we do have other types of wood, to keep it segregated.
Right.
There's a certain distance in there that we have to keep that wood away from the actual wood we use for international crates, right? So that heat treated, kiln dried is the only stuff I buy. I buy it in volume, right? I bring it in. We make the crates so that we can export, and we don't try to. We don't even deal with the other stuff. Even if a large client came to us and said, "Hey, we'd like you to mass produce, 3,000 of these crates for us, but we want the cheapest stuff possible." I just turned the job away because I'm not going to buy that kind of lumber. It's just that's not the business we're in. So
all I want to know is, or I want to say, and then ask if anyone can do it. But dude, look, here we are talking about lumber. Like, insert Tim Allen grunt. You know what I mean? Like,
hey guys, Meg and I have to drop because we have to go record our podcast. Before we do, though, I have to plug my friend here. I'm going to slide over so Meg can get in the middle here.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
She is the strongest woman in logistics. She has deep experience across carrier networks, customer facing. I'm very biased, obviously, because I've worked with her. I've trained with her. She is incredible. She's over at Dre Depot now. Look her up. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, this is February 22nd, 2024. Megan Estrada Zink is going to change this industry. She is one to follow. She is one to be connected with. She is one to talk to. I can never say enough good things about her because she's fucking dope. So please get out there, follow her.
Why did we have you on the show then?
Because we have to have the weaker section before we have the main event. You have to have the pregame before you have the main event, and that is.
Oh, I love it!
Oh, look at that! Hey, he comes back.
Come back.
Hey, the main event finally showed up, and you're leaving.
Yeah. Hey, are either Meg or you or Robert, Meg? If either you are an X, drop your X handle. Data 2 wants it so we can all follow you.
I'm gonna have to actually get one.
Yeah.
I was not on Twitter before, and now that I'm seeing all the freight stuff on X now, I'm like, damn, I should probably get one.
So if you do want to follow us on LinkedIn, it's Robert Bain, handle the strongest man in logistics. On Instagram, if you do want to see the lifting stuff, it's at Bain316. And then Meg.
I'm also obviously strongest woman in logistics on LinkedIn, and then my Instagram is Megatron Lifts or Megatron_lifts, and you can see all my lifting stuff there too.
Awesome.
We will get on X. We'll let you guys know when that happens.
I'll see you tomorrow, Rob.
Ed, we got to have you on the show. Hunter and I are going to hook up with you so we can have you on the show if you're cool with that. Yeah,
that's totally cool.
Freaking A. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to say? Meg?
No, I feel pretty good. This has been a cool experience so far, so I really think it's great. I actually really like the concept of the freight school just for, like up and coming professionals that are going to be entering the field. And I actually, I had seen that Will Jenkins was actually going to be doing something similar in the sense of learning, like e-learning classes with like continuous information that he was going to post on the journey page. So I'm sure it's going to be something similar, but I definitely do think that for people that are just coming into the industry or people that might have questions about something that they don't know, I think that will be a valuable resource for, on both sides of the coin. But yeah, I definitely look forward to looking out for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I hope you come on over with us and take a look and be a contributor or, if you're going to change the industry, I want you in there, please.
Yes. Get in.
Now it's on the internet again. Don't make me a liar.
Like he says, don't F it up.
Exactly.
All right. No pressure.
Don't fuck it up.
No
We'll see y'all soon.
All right,
Appreciate it, Robert. We'll see you, brother. Andy, you here for the boycott?
Yeah, I don't go to New York City.
We're bringing down the logistics lounge from the inside. They don't even know it yet.
Hey, I heard you talking about wood and stuff, but have you ever heard of the hardwood capital of the world, Moorhead, Kentucky?
Nope.
Moorhead, Kentucky.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, so that was the claim when I was growing up as the hardwood capital. It is actually still quite a source of hardwood, white oak, hickory, and stuff like that. There's several lumber source. Diamond Forest Products is there. White's Lumber's there. They're a big outsourcer. They ship a lot to Europe and stuff out there. There's several different pallet mills and stuff in that area. There's also Independent Stave Company has a state-of-the-art stave mill there. They buy in a lot of white oak. They started up the Kentucky cooperage there, making bourbon barrels now. That's my hometown though.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but yeah, that's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the crating process, we don't use a lot of the hardwood stuff, but that's definitely needed in places. It's funny because my warehouse I share with a company called Perfect Pallets. They're at the other end of our warehousing complex, and they make plastic pallets. So they're in opposition of us. They make plastic pallets for the beverage industry. We make custom pallets and crates for basically machinery and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Those plastic pallets are expensive. They're like
Yeah.
$75, $85 a pallet on there, but they last forever. Definitely good for the beverage and food because you can wash them right off and it's perfect.
Well, I love what they do over here because they actually, their biggest customers are the bottlers, and I see they have probably here, so they have multiple locations, but here they always have about 10 power units and about 20 trailers here, and they're full of these, and they actually bring recycle them back.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so the beverages get delivered. They have a truck that runs with the stacks of pallets inside empty. They come back, they redistribute it to the distributors. So it's really interesting what they do.
Yeah, and then they wash them and then they put them back into that, and they're probably all numbered and stenciled as well like that.
Yep.
Cool.
Where are you heading there, Andy? You're going home, right?
I'm heading to the house. I'm about 116 miles out.
Oh shit!
Did you drive through Nashville again without calling me?
What's that?
Did you drive through Nashville again without calling me?
I haven't been through Nashville yet, bub.
Oh shit, where are you coming from? Oh, you were up north, weren't you?
Yeah. I delivered in New York this morning, so
You're a scab, man. Scab.
yeah, man. Western New York there delivering some really high value foundry sand apparently.
Where were you up near Watertown, New York?
Jamestown.
Gotcha.
So I got a missing injector. So
Oof.
yeah, I'm running on 5.5 is what I call it. It comes back in once I get up higher in the RPM range, but at an idle and low RPM, it's got a bad mist to it, so it's kind of become a challenge.
You're running some good white smoke, huh?
Yeah, it's not even smoking. It's just cutting out real good and kind of getting rattly. Like if I try to run the blower, it lopes along and stuff. I know what's up with it. I was hoping it was just a cam sensor. I changed that out, and then I tried to find an injector on the East Coast, and no such luck. So I ordered 2 injectors. I paid the core charges. Someone just carry two brand new injectors around with me all the time, so I don't run into that problem anymore.
Smart. Yep, absolutely.
So you missing your buddy Evan in the truck?
Oh man, I tell you what, I
That
called
looked
him.
like a hell of a time, man.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I think it was a lot of fun for both of us, and yeah, I listened to him on the podcast there with Nate Johnson there driving forward today, and it's just it was a blast, and just the positive feedback I think on LinkedIn and the FreightX community has just been great, and more people are taking interest and getting out and seeing what it's all about. You can't, and that's the thing. Like he came out for 8 days, and you can't learn everything in 8 days, but you can't learn anything in a 2-hour or 4-hour ride alone.
No.
You really have to come out here and experience it if you're going to do it.
You know something, and I preach this. If you're a broker, I think one of the requirements is that you get to spend a week at a warehouse and a week inside of a long haul driver, so that you get to understand the complexities and what you go through day in and day out. I mean, I think that perspective alone is worth its weight in platinum, not gold, in platinum. It really is. And I believe that. I've done it. So, and it helped out greatly to understand more deeply. And that's where I think that a lot of brokers out there are missing a lot of that knowledge, and they need it in this industry. It really does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely on my bucket list. Is getting in a
Do
truck.
it, man. Do it.
I mean, a lot of it. I mean, yeah, like you said, as a broker, I just sit here behind my desk and hear stories and think I have an idea about what goes on. But I mean, in
Well, and that's
reality.
the reason why the podcast and everything where the garbage gets put out there, unless you've seen it, you've been in it, you worked in it, you understand it, then it's hearsay. You
Yeah.
have to have that knowledge. That knowledge, like I said, is worth its weight in platinum. It really is, because you have an understanding. And now you have that empathetic side of you when you had those discussions with drivers and asset carriers and all that. I mean,
I want to say this. That as someone who has been a lot of things in this industry, including a driver, yeah, that experience is good to have. But I can also tell you, it is also how can I say this? So, although I understand what drivers go through and the shit that they deal with, as someone that has been a driver and has been in many situations very similar or exactly the same as drivers that I deal with as a broker, and I hear the excuses or the complaint or this or that, it also is a bad thing for me, because I'm like, dude, put your big boy panties on.
right.
Just
Put
shut
those
up.
suspenders on.
Be quiet. Be quiet and listen to what I'm going to tell you, and do this. And I promise you that it's going to work out. So it is a great thing because it gives you that empathy. But I mean, with me, sometimes it can also be a bad thing because you get aggravated. You're like, man, if I was behind the wheel of that truck, I'd have had that damn thing back in 15 minutes ago. And I make that thing.
Not that easy.
Hunter, do you remember when Andrew called me? Dude, I had a customer. He has the easiest back in the world, and everyone fucks it up. It's a straight back. All you have to do is pull in, loop, and pull out. Dude, he's had two people that literally the fucking cops have had to been called to direct traffic because they can't back into this place. It took one guy over an hour. So point is like, it's great, but it also can be bad. But I agree. I think that every broker and a transportation manager, dispatcher, fleet manager, safety fucking guys, boy, there is nothing that burns my ass than a safety guy who has never even rode long-term in a truck. Dude, I don't give a shit what a book tells you there, guy or girl. I'm telling you, you don't understand until you're behind the wheel of a truck. All should go in a truck. Everyone should go to a warehouse. Spend the day in a warehouse, man. Like, dude, just go in and say, hey, I just want to see how these things work. Same thing with drivers. Man, hey, go spend a day inside that warehouse or a few hours. Absolutely. Like, listen to the problems and the shit that these guys do it. Go sit with the broker for a day. Like, listen to the calls and view the emails from the customers and the carriers and the other people involved and stuff, and get that understanding. So I'm with you, Jeff. The bad thing about it is that most people don't think that that's important because they're so stuck in their own way. They think, oh, I know it all. I've heard about it from Bobby Sue and Jimmy Joe. And so like, I know everything. You don't have to tell me these things.
No, you don't.
And people, they don't want to get out of their box. You know what I mean? We all put ourselves in these boxes as brokers, as carriers, as shippers, dispatch, all of these people, we put ourselves there. And as we say in the military, we live in a 3-foot world, man. You know what I mean? Like it's a 3-foot world. That's it. There is nothing that matters outside of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if we wanted to make some real change, what Steven's trying to do is a big part of it. And with this freight school, but it also needs to be people getting in trucks and getting in warehouses and getting in offices and like seeing how the other side operates. Because you can't really, in my opinion, I'm gonna use a military thing again. In the military, they teach you. Steven, you fucking know this. You know this. No, you do. In the military, to be successful, you have to know the job of the person below you and above you. Because not only is that for your benefit, but I'm going to actually pull this back to an earlier conversation. It is a fail-safe within the efficient machine that is the military. Because if my squad leader takes a fucking round to the neck while we're in the thick of it, I need to know how to direct troops and know battle plans of what's going on. And that's the same thing as a broker and a carrier and a shipper, man. If something happens to somebody, you need to know enough of that job function to make yourself dangerous. And
that's why cross training is so damn important in logistics. You should know what your inbound specialist does, your claim specialist, your outbound specialist, the dock supervisor. Listen, you're not going to learn everything if you go and work in a warehouse for 1 week, but the perspective that you'll get from it to see the mechanisms of logistics moving and the flow from internal to external is worth its weight in gold. I'm telling you right now, I really think it should be a requirement for everybody. It's just to have an understanding. You're not going to learn it just like that. The problem is too many people in the logistics industry pigeonhole themselves. They get into a specific vertical, a specific niche, which isn't all that bad, but it limits their capabilities and their learning and their knowledge level. The way my career is, I use myself as an example. I'm not an expert in anything, but I know a hell of a lot from cradle to grave in many different verticals, because that's the way I wanted my career. So in case somebody happens to ask a question, I can have an intellectual conversation with them. And if I don't know it, I'm man enough to say, you know what? I don't know, but this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to find out and get that information for you. And I'll get back to ASAP because I got a lot of connections. That's what it's all about.
Damn, old Stephen Dot just dipped on us. Hit the old Irish goodbye.
They just ghost us.
Rob, you're on mute once again.
Sorry, bro. I got stuff. I got things
there
going on, pinging over here, bro. I'm sorry about that, man.
No, he's here.
Yeah, no, my computer popped off, so oh well.
Definitely Rich on here.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say about that was you look at it from the other side too. For example, I am owners in a number of different logistics related companies, right? First mile, final mile, middle mile, all that kind of stuff, a brokerage, a carrier, and I've got a government contract. During that government contract, Jeff knows this. I saw him while I was working on my government contract up in New York. I travel around the country with my teams and I actually do the installations. And I understand what everybody is battling. If they're doing a delivery inside of a mall, they're doing a delivery inside of a strip mall, they're doing a delivery inside of an office building on the 4th floor, they're doing it in a downtown area in a 26-foot box truck and can't find parking in the Bronx. I mean, I've done all that kind of stuff. So that way, when my guys come back and say, hey, we had these challenges, this is what happened, I know exactly what happened. And not only that, most of my employees are veterans, right? So they kind of look up to me by saying, well, if Steve's going to do the hard work, the hardest part of that contract was getting the stuff out of the truck and into the building, right? These things weigh 180 pounds each panel. So physically, it's a hard job. And we'd get there and I'd hand somebody the paperwork and go, you go talk to the client, you set everything up. I'm going to be in this truck sweating my ass off, taking all this shit out and bringing it in. And once you get that and you do that and you do it over and over and people see you doing it, they have no problem doing it themselves. They're like, hey, Steve's in the Air Force. They call it chair force. People say, hey, he's in the chair force. He's sitting in a chair. But if you actually get out there and do it, everybody else goes, you know what, I'm going to do this because it's nothing that Steve wouldn't do or couldn't do himself. He's not making me do something that he wouldn't do. And so I do that every year, travel around the country and sweat my ass off. And I literally will hire my 2 daughters and a couple of guys that come in here and actually make phone calls and do the stuff I normally do. Right?
It sounds like it's coming down to
Steve, I'll sum this up because you're a true leader. You get in there with your troops.
Jeff, get out of my head.
And you help them out and they see that and they replicate that. So when the cat is gone, the mouse will not play. They're going to do it because they're going to say to themselves, well, if our boss can do it, we can do it.
So I want to make this comment. I can't believe I've never said this to you before, Mr. Dot. When I know this is coming back now, but it when this was a thing, the caveman, the Geico caveman, when they first came out, remember that? Like they're bringing it back now. I don't know if anyone's seen the commercials, but they're doing a whole
do it.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what my first sergeant had a fucking printout picture on his wall in his office because his brother was a equivalent to a first sergeant in the Air Force, and they used to fuck with each other. So he had sent this to his brother as a picture of the caveman guy in an Air Force uniform, and it said "Chair Force." So easy, a caveman can do it. Dude, that shit when this was 2007, man. So, dude, I still to that day remember that fucking piece of paper hanging on my first sergeant's wall, man. It is the funniest freaking thing, dude.
Well, it's horrible. I mean, my brother works here. He works for me. He was a Marine. You know, he served in Kuwait and Afghanistan and all those places. And, you know, they still talk shit about Air Force people. Or the funny thing is everybody gives each service some shit,
Yes.
right? I mean, they really do. But as long as everybody respects each other, you know, that's all that matters. You know, it's
the thing is, Stephen, is you agree with this? Is like only we can do that to each other. Like if a civilian walked up to you and started talking shit to you about being Air Force, like, hey, a throat punch is coming your way. Just fucking be ready for it. Like, I mean, I'm serious, dude. Like, hey, an Army guy can walk up to an Air Force guy, an Air Force guy to a Marine, and we could just start fucking throwing, you know, horrible words at each other. And then after it's all done, it's like, you buying the first round? No, I'm buying the first round. You know what I mean?
Got it.
It's just the way it is, man.
If you got time, I got a little story for you.
Yeah, of course, man.
I sent out a team, and I thought this was brilliant because we were doing installs. So every recruiting station in the United States, we did installs for Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Most of those are called career service centers, right? Armed Forces Career Service Centers. So all of the branches recruit out of one place. It's usually a strip mall or a mall or something like that, right? So I decided, because I have, you know, different veterans, to send a team that consisted of one Air Force, one Army, one Navy, one Marine. They had to work together. I sent them out on the road. It was about a month and a half. I guess they were a 6-week team, right? They come back and they get 3 weeks off after they were working six weeks on the road. And they come back, and these were the stories. Man, Steve, Travis, my Army guy, he was in the Army. Say, big muscular guy. He's like, Steve, I did 80% of the work on this job. I was in the back taking the stuff out, taking it in, and Chuck didn't do shit. Chuck's my Navy guy. Hey, Chuck, what's the deal, man? Everybody said that you were lazy, you didn't do the work. Man, Steve, you know what? I was the driver. I was driving the truck while those people were sleeping in the freaking cab. So while we left, I'm driving, they're sleeping. So don't let them tell you I didn't do all this work. I'm like, Chuck, that makes sense. You're totally right. Next guy was an Air Force guy, right? I'd put him in charge of the paperwork because he's Chair Force, right? He's like, I go, hey, you're in charge of the paperwork. He goes, Steve, you do realize that even though Travis is in the back pulling these things out, Chuck is driving. You do realize when I get back to whatever hotel you put us up in, my job is to upload all the photos and all the paperwork, and they're sleeping and they're playing around. They're jumping in the pool, and I'm stuck in the room doing all the paperwork. So don't let them tell you. It just went on and on about how everybody felt like they had the shit job and the other people got away clean. And I'm like, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never. And on top of that, so take this into account. So you know how some people, 2 of those people on that team had a philosophy. We start, we don't finish till we're done. We are going to knock this out. We're going to get back to the hotel at 2:30. We're going to call Steve and laugh at him and say, you're paying us for a day of work. We knock this out. We're in the pool. We're barbecuing. We're cool, right? The other 2, their mentality is, no, 15-minute break, half-hour lunch. We're going to come back and do the job. We're going to get it done. So don't ever mix those 2 philosophies on one team.
That's fucking funny.
Right, and both of them are wrong, right? I mean, it's just what your work ethic is. I mean, they're both right and they're both wrong, and you're not going to argue with either of them. You know, it's like
I am so the fuck, like, so that we're getting this shit done in one go. Like, dude, like I am also a do the hard part first type of guy.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Like, dude, I know so many people like, oh no, do the easy part so that way you can
go
ease
after
into
the low line fruit.
man. You do the hard shit first, so that way you can just sit back and drink beer and do the easy part.
Absolutely. Love that.
So many people go after the low-lying fruit. It's ridiculous, man. You know, they want to go low. I like to go high. Get rid of the shit that's so damn hard. Get it off your desk, because the other stuff you're going to blow right through. Why wouldn't you want to go after the hard stuff and get that out of the way? I mean, that doesn't. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
I'm
but
with you, bro. Hey, I feel the same way.
yeah, like
I feel
if
the
we
same. And
drive
me
down
and
to,
everything with me.
yeah, if I drive down to Florida
Like,
with
go
my
ahead.
wife, I tell my wife, I said, listen, from Sparta, New Jersey down to Siesta Key, it's 18 hours straight through. So listen, if you have to go to the bathroom, you better hold it because I'm going all the way down until we run out of gas, and then we'll stop at that's when you take a leak. Otherwise, I'm going from A to B, man. It's the vacation time. I'm not stopping. I'm getting there. I'll fall asleep on a freaking beach, And other people are like, no, we got to stop in North Carolina. Then we have to stop in Jacksonville. It's just like, no, dude. No,
Dude,
let's get the
hey,
job done.
hey, I drive. Hey, I just drive until I don't know. I'm tired, dude. Like I said on the show before, when I was a driver, I would drive for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours straight, man. Like I mean, just seriously. I mean, just drive. Like, hey, I didn't need to stop, So that's funny. You say like, hey, that's the way I'm. Like, I'm not stopping. Like, hey, if you need to stop and go to the bathroom, you should have thought about that before we left. You know what I mean? Like, you should have
That's right.
accordingly.
That's exactly right. That's exactly the way I operate, man. Here's an empty bottle. There you go, man. Have fun. Figure it out.
Oh my Jesus Christ, man! Y'all are so
I can definitely. I knew Jeff was a piss jug guy.
Got to get the job done, man. You got to have solutions. You have to options and solutions, dude, and get it done. So freaking hilarious.
So Jeff, what you got going on this week?
Boy, what do I have?
Shows?
I got an RFP. I'm working on a big one, flatbed moves and rail moves coming out of Southern California, going into Tampa, Orlando area, hundreds of them a month. The other thing is I got word on the street tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. Got my podcast on Monday, the Storytelling Chronicles, empowering women into logistics. We got Kevin Nolan. He's the founder and chief rhino in charge of a Nolan Transportation, $1 billion company, coming on board, talk about, supporting women in the industry and how we can help them to level up. So we're looking, both Christy Knitchell and myself are looking forward to speaking with him. We've got some really great guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to have a roundtable, telling everybody about that right now on this show, roundtable at the end of every single month, where we'll have 2 guys and 2 women kind of battling it out, agreeing to disagree and throw all the subjects out there and really get down, down and nasty, if you will, to figure out what's been going on for 50, 60 years since the Equal Pay Act of 1963 and the Civil Acts Act of 1964. We still got a huge disparity in pay, amongst other things. So are we going to resolve it? No. I mean, look, we're 60 years into it right now. But hey, you know what? If we keep on pushing the peanut forward, we'll get there eventually. We just need the support from a lot of men out there to help the women out and level up.
Yeah. No, that's great what you're doing, man. And I can definitely see a difference being made. Like obviously we're doing our ladies' night and celebrating Women's History Month throughout March, and I saw Matt Dahl and them for Real Freight Talk. They're doing their thing on Friday, and so it's like you said, everybody puts in their own little piece. It's all relative to everything we're talking about. It just takes people actually doing it.
It takes
and not just talking about it.
Right. It takes a village to make things happen. You've heard that statement before. And the thing is that the more guys that we can get on board and help lift them up, it's great. It's time for change, guys. It really is. It's time for change. I know a lot of smart women out there. I've promoted, hired, trained. It's so awesome when they get up to the higher ranks. And then they reflect on it and they mention your name. There's no other greater honor than having that and being able to, have that ability to do so. So it's all good, man. We all should be there helping each other out. So
yeah. Well, you're one of the smartest women I know, Jeff. So kudos to you.
Why, thank you. Thank you. You should see lipstick on me. I mean, I really am charming. There's a whole other side to bodacious you don't want to know.
It's good. It's good.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, guys, I appreciate it. If you follow, share, get this podcast out. The more the merrier. I appreciate it, dudes.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh yeah.
Support
Put it
that
up.
you love, so.
We love you, Jeff. We'll do anything for you, bro.
Great.
Oh,
So,
damn it,
yeah.
Jeff. So,
Uh-oh.
Steven, I know you forgot, but fucking Steven called me out on this earlier. Oh, he made me feel so bad. So, first, I want to.
I didn't mean to do that.
Dude, he did. Steven called me and he asked me what I'm about to tell you. And then when I told him I didn't, he was like, man, Rob, you're a shitbag. Anyway.
So, I can't wait. All right, here we go.
First off, I want to say I'm sorry. I with all the stuff that's going on today with the cell phone service down, me trying to buy my car, I forgot to take the pictures today of my buddy's Cadillac Blackwing. But I am going to go take them. And I also want to say that is a fast motherfucking car.
Is that what y'all rode to Dallas then? I'm assuming?
And he let me drive. Let me tell you what. Woo-wee. Dude, hey, that Cadillac.
I got some tickets racked up.
Just think about this, bro. Just think about this. This thing has like 570 horsepower. Dude, that is supercar level even today. Like there are Ferraris that don't have 570 fucking horsepower in them. This thing is absolutely nuts.
Is it a heavy vehicle?
It's a Cadillac CTS. It's a 4-door, but dude,
that's the best though, man. Because dude, you got that power with that kind of weight. You can do anything.
Let me tell you, that shit. It's a twin turbocharged V6, and the turbochargers, dude. I love how they have it set up. So if anyone knows anything about cars, Jeff, I'm sure you do. Steve, I don't know about you, or Hunter, I'm not sure how deep you're onto, but superchargers, air comes in, it's mounted on top of the manifold, it immediately goes into the engine block, produces horsepower. Turbos have to spool up and reach what they call a power band. So the turbo chamber has to fill up, and then it'll push that air into the engine block, creating more horsepower. This thing, the way it's set up, dude, which it makes sense, but at the same time, you can't never put it past engineers to fucking do what's logical. But, dude, one turbo spools, and then the other one spools like a second or two after it. So once you reach the power band with one, dude, and you think you're about to run out, the power band from the second one fucking kicks in, dude. It's like, hey, bro, I'm telling you, when I hit that gas, we were on 35, and the first time I masked that shit, dude, hey, I wasn't expecting it. Like I've drove it before in the city, but I've never been able to open it up on the highway, bro. And that thing was like, I am not joking, dude. Suck you into your seat. Oh my God, that shit was so fun, man.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I mean, in my youth, I used to build hot rods, and I had a 68 Rally Sport, actually an RSSS Camaro Pro Street. Had 1150 horsepower that I built, 454 LS6, titanium lifters, sodium filled valves, Lenco 2-speed, belted. I sold it to BF Goodrich back in '82. That was one of the deals. When I got married, I got rid of my cars. I don't know why I did that, but that's a whole other story. But I used to race on the highway and everything. I had Corvettes and AMXs and GTOs, and I had a ton of them. So I know what power is, and when you get your head jerked back, it's amazing. I wanted to build another one. My wife was like, "You sure you want to build it at your age?" I was like, "Listen, I want some hobby to go and do that because I love tinkering around with the old hot rods, man. That's like one of the best things."
I'm waiting to get, obviously I'm waiting, but to get like my dream thing. And even though it'll be a while, I'm going to have to find one that's older, but dude, my end all car is an Audi RS7. Like, not that I don't have bigger dreams, but that's an easily obtainable thing. And that's what I'm about is like, dude, hey, get something 1,000% you're going to be able to fucking drive before you die. Everyone wants Ferraris and Lambos, dude. That's fucking great, but like, how realistic is that with your current status of living? You know what I mean? Like, so, dude, an Audi RS7, those things are 600 something horsepower, all-wheel fucking drive. Like, man, dude, I would love to have that 79 Pinto. Steven, hey,
279 Pinto.
Hey, Steven, you say that, dude.
That's a rolling bomb.
There is a guy, I don't know if he still has it, but last time I went out to the drag strip in our area, which was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something, there was a guy that had a Pinto. Dude, that was a 10-second car. All fucking engine. Dude, he had, I think it was a 450 or a 454 in this thing. Like, dude, he completely hollowed out the entire, like, this thing was this. I would sure take a Pinto. Fuck yeah, man.
I told you, Jeff.
The redneck trucker over here, he's so full of shit, man. They
got to get him back on, like, for real sometime. That is the bull snot king.
We do that.
It's funny as hell, though, dude. Some of his videos that he makes for Van, bro, I am rolling on the floor laughing. This shit is hilarious.
Yeah, so check this out. This is me with my vet that I had, and then my 69 SJ Grand Prix 4-speed. Not many of them were made in the United States. It's like 500. There you go.
So you gotta start putting this. You gotta start putting some of this stuff out there. We got to know the other side of Jeff.
And then I have my 68 GT fastback, my Mustang that I had, that I was building, that had 428 in it.
What was your favorite one that you've owned?
Oh, it was my first one, which I bought when I was, oh my God, I was 15 years old. Well, this is my 69 AMX that I had.
Yeah, bro, those are so cool. Dude, AMXs were cool fucking. That was a cool car manufacturer. Y'all gotta admit, dude, those javelins and shit that they did, those little AMX pace, those were so cool. And what was it? The AMX, the wagon? No, that was AMC. That was AMC. No,
that was the Rambler Scrambler with a 390 in it.
No, the AMC or AMX did it. It was the wagon, dude. It was lifted. It had all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It was right before Dodge bought them out.
All right, so this is the car that I bought when I was 15 years old from Plowing Driveways.
Oh, nice.
Which was a 1968 GTO convertible Ram Air 400 M22 4-speed. Yeah, I blew that sucker up.
Redneck, you really have a jet.
I bet you ain't got a fighter jet.
Holy shit. Where are you at, man?
Take it for a test spin live.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that
a fighter jet?
Yeah, it's a fighter jet.
Yes.
Let me
back up and show us, man.
You got a truck and a jet. Holy shit. Is that your new project, Redneck? The fixer-upper? What the fuck?
It's going to be the bull snot mobile.
Oh, he's got it on his truck. Where
you need some instruments in there, man. Just trying to give you a hint. That, I think you need
it's a work in progress. You hear me? Well, it's going to be the new bull snot mobile.
That should be completed.
Nothing's out of reach with bull snot. Come on.
Dude, that is crazy. Where are you holding that to? If you can tell us.
It's top secret. I can't say.
Okay, gotcha. Area 51.
No, I'm in Alabama.
Oh, okay, sweet, dude. Hell yeah,
oh my God, man, that's freaking hilarious.
Dude, we got to have you on the show, Redneck. Like more often. Like seriously, man, you got to chime in and be on here more often. We got to have you on as a guest.
He's guessing.
I mean,
we'll get him live time. We'll get him live time. We'll have to wrangle. We'll have to get Van back in here so he can He can
Dude,
he
that
can
is so
translate
Yeah, I just
for
talked
us.
bandwagon.
That's wild.
that is so fucking neat, dude.
Hey, gents, it's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta bail, but it was great being on the show again.
Later,
However, I
Jeff.
can support you. Let me know. I'll talk to you soon there, Steve, too, my friend.
Yes,
Be
sir.
good,
Well, see you later, Jeff.
Later, Jeff.
All right, see you guys. Appreciate it.
Dude, that is so fucking awesome, man. Where you head? Where you headed, Redneck?
Just down the road.
Okay.
I'm in
Sweet.
Odenville, Alabama.
Okay.
What part of Alabama?
Man, how many people? Odenville?
Old Mill.
Is that in LA?
Odenville.
Oh, Odinville.
No,
I said
Alabama.
I know. Lower Alabama. That's LA.
No, I ain't down there about Mobile, Odenville.
Oh, Odenville. Oh,
You got to turn the translator on. You don't understand.
I love how he's talking. I love how he's talking to us like we're fucking like we're the ones that don't understand English with old fucking Boomhauer over here.
my dang old man.
You're so funny, man. You're
Hey,
fucking.
you know what the difference between the light bulb and Red's pregnant sister?
You're
You screw the
cutting
light
up.
bulb. I said, you know the difference between a redneck's pregnant sister and a light bulb? You can unscrew the light bulb.
Oh. My God, he said a redneck's pregnant sister. Oh my
Yep.
God, this show took a turn real fast.
You know how you circumcise a redneck?
Huh?
Kick this, Joe.
What? Say the last part.
I know exactly.
I said, kick your sister in the jaw.
Oh my Jesus Christ, we're so getting canceled. Oh, this will be
boycott the logistics lounge. We're going down in a blaze of glory.
We appreciate everyone being a part of the logistics lounge. This might very well be our last show.
Going out on a jet.
Dude, I love that truck. Holy shit, look at that W9.
That's my baby right there.
Oh, that's nice. What year is that, man?
03.
Ooh.
Are you going to Mets?
I'm thinking about it. I've been there the last few years. This truck right here has been on the National Mall in DC 3 different times. It's been in Overdrive Magazine, Truckers News, you name it, I've been there.
That's what's up, bro. Fuck yeah, that's cool.
Y'all got Facebook, right?
Yeah.
29 years. If you look up Stephen Myers, that's me. It's the only Stephen Myers that's verified with a little blue check mark.
I'm gonna go look you up right now, bro.
Now, you go into Truckers for Christ, that group, it's got 22.7 thousand people. That's my group. My website is www.driverscrisiscenter.org.
Holy shit, bro. There's like a fucking gajillion Stephen Myers. Could your parents have given you more of a normal name?
It's the only one with a blue check mark.
Bro, well, that's fine. I got to scroll through the 8,000, 100,000 Stephen Myers on here to fucking find you.
Is it Stephen?
Put Alabama. Try Nauvoo, Alabama. JJ.
Yeah, we'll find you eventually.
If you go on Truckers for Christ, look under the admin, you'll find me.
Truckers for Christ?
No, Truckers Crisis.
Right.
Truckers Christ. Hey, I couldn't. He keeps coming.
Look under the group, Truckers for Christ. You'll see the group.
I told you, Truckers.
Look under the admins. You'll see me under it. Not the page, the group. Of course, the page is mine too, but that's how I scroll around. Because people like block me.
The picture is an animated picture of a truck with a cross on the right hand side. 22,000 members.
That's me.
Cool. Truckers for Christ, not truckers in Christ, right?
Right.
All right, cool.
It's blue.
Found him. I found him.
If you go to the admin, if you go to the admins of there, you'll see Stephen Myers and it'll be a blue check mark. That'll be me.
Sure as shit. Yeah, I found it right here.
Yeah, I posted y'all's interview the other day and tagged y'all's page on Facebook because my
dude,
post reach.
Our Facebook
Go
group
ahead.
has been compromised, so we're
Yeah,
not
our
really on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know at the time. I was
think someone's trying
just
to
sharing
run,
Van's interview. I was just sharing Van's interview over. See, my post reach
Oh,
before they put me in jail last September was up 16 million.
Damn.
Well, now they let me out of jail. So it's steadily climbing back up. So I'm over 500,000 now. So I'm almost to $1 million again.
Oh, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, our Facebook got hacked, and my Facebook was attached to it, so we can't get back into it. But dude, we appreciate the love, but we're on fucking X and everything else. Super. That's funny.
Can
When
you
you
see that still?
Yeah, we're on X.
If you go, I know y'all are on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting to the bottom of this. We're gonna find out who the redneck really is. Steve Myers. So where are you at up there, redneck? You live there in Alabama? Or?
We'll climb back up here. Maybe I get a signal. Don't get too old for here. Ooh, look at here.
We're about to cut off here in a minute.
You see that?
I know. It don't matter. Well, we just stay on until we leave.
Yeah.
Well, I think Brian might want to.
Oh, that's right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Let me climb on.
Fucking cow. Well, what else is going on? Y'all got any more else to talk about, or is it time for me to go over to X Spaces?
What do you mean?
I haven't been over there in a long time.
Dude, are you
Over
on X?
X?
Are you on X, Steven?
Yeah,
Oh, we're gonna go look you up. What's your freaking thing?
I think I'm Papa Freight on there.
Oh yeah, we are so
But
connected.
We made it, and I probably haven't gone on since. Oh, Steven's back.
Dude, you look so different from your profile.
He does. I know. He
I
fucking does.
thought I was thinking I knew a completely different guy when he came on the show.
This
the first
fucking
time.
guy. I make big crates, and I cannot lie. You other suckers can't deny. Oh my god,
that is. Sick,
oh,
Rob, share that screen. I'm about to go to the bathroom, but you see, pull up that picture. That's sick, dude. It looks like you're building a small house.
Look like what?
Dude, that is crazy.
That's one of our aerospace companies or MRO companies. They take apart airplanes. They take apart airplanes and then they sell off all the parts, and so we create a lot of their parts.
Dude, that is nuts, bro. I love that. He said, I make big crates. It literally does, Luke. Dude, that is like, seriously, all you need to add is like some fucking center joist right here. Dude, and this is building a wall for a fucking house. That's what that is right there, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, those ones were not going overseas. Those were going domestic, but yeah, we we build some crazy stuff sometimes, but I put that up on X
nuts, bro.
some time ago.
You've got to get back on here, man. Like, dude, that's cool. We man, they have these little rooms and stuff on here every night, man. And dude, you'll get drivers, man. You get brokers, you get safety people, man. We get all kinds.
Yeah, you want to talk about promoting the freight school, dude? X would be an
Okay.
excellent spot.
We talked to a guy last night who was in Belgium, like driving down the fucking road live. We were talking to this guy on the other side of the planet, dude.
Met his wife today. She was on. She's under Knight Rider.
Yeah.
We got like in our group, we got over 100 countries.
Wow. Yeah. I'll hop over there sometime again, and I haven't been on there in quite a while. These are some older pictures, but yeah, I need to pop back on there and see what
you do for
you guys keep talking about it. So I'm sure it's pretty cool. Kyle wants to build my house. Come over here to the warehouse. I know you're here in town. I'll just build you one real quick.
Yeah, he does. He probably lives like 15 minutes from you, man. Like, shit, dude. Yeah, I'm following you now, bro. That's what's up, man. Guys,
I need some airplane stuff.
Huh?
I need some airplane stuff. Make my truck in a hot rod.
Put the wings on that
I want
thing.
a dead engine. That's what I want. Hey, I already got the fuselage.
Ready to roll. What are you saying, Rob? You ready to shut this joint down?
Yeah, I would love to hang, but dude, it's my oldest son's day off, and even though I've been gone most of the day, he's back home from doing his errands, so I know he wants to chill in what is now his room and relax and watch some TV and shit. So
one of these days, you're gonna build that little office. That's what Steven needs to do. Steven, you need to roll over to Texas and build that man a little office space in his garage.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to you.
We're gonna make
later.
some redneck trucker video.
All right, Steve.
Talk to you later.
all right, Steve, have a good one. Redneck, if you're on X, man, we're about to go over to X, and we're gonna. What are you on X? What's your handle on there?
Redneck trucker on Twitter.
Fucking A, bro. We're
I ain't got many followers over there. Now Instagram, I got like 4 or 5 of them that went viral over there. I got some over there. They got Instagram?
91268.
Something like that.
Yeah, I found it. Boom.
Redneck trucker.
Yeah, Redneck T91268. It's got the same picture as his YouTube.
Yeah, same picture. Yeah, I need some more followers on YouTube. So,
don't we all, man? Yeah, no, we're trying to build that up, man. So next time, we'll just have to. Now we got you on X and whatnot. You'll just have to be a little more active on there. Shit, I guess we can get you on LinkedIn, but we'll work something out, man. We'll get you because you can stream to your YouTube from like our show, so you can get more people out there, and we can do a little group session or something like that. But yeah, if you ain't doing nothing tomorrow, man, it's Freestyle Friday. You got to pop in, stir the pot a little bit. I forget who we got on.
Yeah, I can do that.
You better be hauling a tank tomorrow or something.
Get my pregnant sister on here.
We got Trucker Docs on tomorrow.
That's right, Clay.
Yeah, Clay with Trucker Docs. Yeah.
We gotta reach out to him. I ain't talked to him since daggum. I forget who told me to reach out to the guy, but
anyway, man, I'm going to chop out of here, bro. We're going ahead and throw some love to our wonderful sponsor, Sureline. We talked about a lot of things tonight in this industry, changes and evolution. And I'll tell you, one thing that is never going to change is how fast you need access to your money. And if you want to do business with a factoring company that has your best interest at heart, has the lowest, I'll say that because I don't know anyone else that goes lower on their rates than Clint does.
It sounds like he worked with you too.
Yes,
you need.
That's it. You need to be doing business with Sureline Capital. In the words of the great Mr. Hound over here, it's a sure thing with Sureline. Hunter, you have any exit comments, my friend?
See y'all tomorrow. Keep them cell phones connected to the Wi-Fi. Watch out for the lizard people, except for those in the lounge. And if
I
y'all
love that.
are here on X, I guess we'll see you over there. And yeah, another
I'll
beautiful
be
day.
I'll be over there here in a bit, bro. Okay. I just need to like move myself out of the office and shit, and I'll be over there.
No, we'll kick you out. I'm
I don't
gonna
give a
call
fuck.
Ryan here in a second, see what's
That's
going
fine.
on. But
Yeah, I'll do something else with my time. Fuck you. All right, broski. Hey, we appreciate everyone chilling with us in the lounge tonight. We had some fantastic people on as always, but was a really good time. Had some folks pop in and pop out, made things extra fun. And with that, as I always say, chunk the deuces, Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.